academicians and knowledgeable people like you and others. My sincere regards to the teachers, academicians at NIT Rourkela, and those who are joined through the video link, this MS link. So the topic given by Dr. Manavendra is so difficult. That is the expert's lens. So it's a kind of, not a kind of detective's lens, please. So my this title is a little changed. Am I audible now? My voice is clear?
Yes, sir, your voice is perfectly clear, sir.
Okay, okay. So the corporate social responsibilities from industry perspective, I'm going to throw some light upon it. And first of all, I want to introduce, this is the presentation outline, and I want to introduce GAIL. You may be knowing, but I just want to little emphasize upon this. GAIL is a Maharatna PSU under Ministry of Petroleum Natural Gas, and we are having nearly 12,000, more than 12,000 kilometers of natural gas pipeline, and nearly 8,000 kilometers of pipelines are under commissioning. So shortly it will be also available for service of nation. These are the business portfolio of GAIL, that is transmission of natural gas, the petrochemical plant, liquid hydrocarbon, and we are in E&P as well, and holding the stakes in renewables as well, that is wind and solar power. As far as CSR is concerned, CSR goes along with the natural gas pipeline. We follow the principle of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhag Bhavet. That is, our CSR umbrella is covering all aspects of the society. If we go to the word, that is CSR, it is basically a management concept to integrate all spheres of the society along with the existing business portfolio. It deals with the environmental concern, the social concerns, their impact, and fulfillment of the socio-economic objectives. So GAIL is covering elderly education under differently abled people under their Saksham initiative, Arogya for the health related issues, Ujjwal for the education and for the bright future of the young chaps, Unnati for the rural development, empowerment of the rural people, because mostly a majority of our society lives in the village and rural urban areas. Harit is the objective intended for the betterment of green revolution, like agricultural sector. Kaushal is the skill development that has been introduced after our Modi government. Shashakt is the women empowerment arena. So GAIL is continuously getting good ratings from Economic Times and different certifying agencies. Already visible. PSD Annual Awards Excellence was given to GAIL as an outstanding contribution for their social upliftment and welfare activities. You see, our corporate social responsibility activities and projects are being executed by GAIL along with its pipeline. You can see the pipeline map. It is covering mostly 70–80% of the area of our country. Our CSR is basically focused for most of the verticals, most of the levels of the society. GAIL is not only confined being a gas company. It is more than a gas company. It is a very conscious and caring organization for its citizen, employees, and all the stakeholders. It is passing through the pipeline is passing through the villages. So the villagers across the villages and the nearby areas are being benefited through our CSR drives. The rigorous exercises and all the efforts made by GAIL is visible nowadays. You can go to the areas where the pipeline is passing, where our plants are there, SVs are there, RTs are there. You can see the difference. We have upgraded the schools, we have upgraded the community centers, and that is visible. Our motto statement, that is tomorrow is yours, energizing possibility. It all gives hope, dreams, vision in the eyes of the youth, in the eyes of the common villagers. So that is GAIL. As per Companies Act, that is 135 section, it says about 2% of the average 3 years PAT is to be dedicated for the CSR only. So we are continuously following it. We are contributing in all this pandemic, social issues, education sector empowerment. All these areas are very wisely covered by GAIL. So this I have already explained, that is our CSR umbrella. It is covering all the verticals of the society. There are a few glimpses that GAIL Kaushal, we have established a skill development center in Raebareli, where the youth is engaged for getting the education, getting their skills upgraded so that they can contribute in nation building. GAIL is basically the first in hydrocarbon sector to set up such academy in the state of Uttar Pradesh. If you talk about the rural development and infrastructural initiatives, GAIL have contributed for water harvesting area. You can see this Neer Nidhi project. This project was very much fruitful for the areas such as Ramgarh, Kalaras, where water is a big problem. So this natural water harvesting and this Neer Nidhi project has changed their lives miraculously. We have already, as I already told, that GAIL Arogya initiative. This initiative includes the provisioning of medical equipments, infrastructural activities. We run MMR vans, movable medical vans, in which doctor, nurses, paramedical staff, testing facility, medicine distribution, everything is already included. So these initiatives are really giving a very positive boost to the health sector, health of our rural people. They take medicines and tests free of cost. They take all the facilities at our MMR facilities free of cost. They feel free. They have it is also contributing for the vaccination drive of Government of India. So in such manner, it's a very inclusive kind of program. You can see they have the counseling, tobacco, empowering them to get rid of the tobacco and bad habits, drinking, HIV issues. These all issues are being taken care of by our MMR and under GAIL Arogya project. There are
Abhinav sir, you are not audible. Hello, Abhinav sir, can you hear me? Hello, Abhinav sir, your voice is not, you're not audible, sir.
Is still a vibrant green. The environment is free of pollutants and clean. Where in the midst of a harmonious existence thrives man and all his creations. India is on the cusp of a major energy transformation as it marches steadily towards becoming a gas-based economy. And helping it achieve this goal is GAIL India Limited, India's largest integrated natural gas company. Since its inception in 1984, GAIL has been successful in establishing a robust presence across the entire gas value chain and propagating the effective and economic use of natural gas in the country. As an organization, GAIL has always comprehended the changing needs and aspirations of its customers and is committed to connecting clean energy sources to energy markets. GAIL has conquered the most difficult terrains and weather with grit, determination, and sheer ingenuity to augment its pipeline infrastructure. Over the last few years, GAIL has worked and continues to work towards ensuring energy security for India by tapping on resources both within the domestic boundary and abroad. GAIL has established wholly owned subsidiary companies in Singapore and Texas for pursuing overseas business opportunities, including LNG sourcing and trading. GAIL has increased its LNG portfolio to 14 million tons, which is the ninth largest in the world today. This diversified portfolio is spread across varied geographical and price indexations. Recently, the company also forayed into shipping with the advent of its first LNG vessel from USA in March 2018. GAIL is committed to continue being the pioneers with cutting-edge technology and innovation, bringing into action seamless solutions with absolute transparency and integrity. It is committed to delivering more than just gas to its pipelines. It is committed to delivering both. And to integrate itself with the world while ensuring sustainability in all its operations, GAIL steadily moves towards
Portfolio, CSR is integrated, CSR is being completed all across the country so that our majority of the portion, majority of the part of the society can be benefited. Now, if we talk
हेलो मैम, लिखना क्या है? नहीं, चैट बॉक्स तो
Sir, you are not audible. Abhinav sir? Abhinav sir, can you hear us? maybe some technical issue is there probably in his side.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Manvin sir.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
I mean, is he connecting?
He's trying to connect.
Okay, okay.
Technological issues in online meeting.
Okay.
Am I audible? I got disconnected, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got disconnected.
Yeah. So, can you tell me where I got interrupted?
Actually, after the video.
After the video, right. So, I shall start with from this CSR overview.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. So this is our GAIL CSR umbrella, in which we are covering all the segment of the society, like elderly and differently able people.
So your slides are not visible.
Again, some issues is there. Just what is happening?
You can share your screen. You can share your screen.
Yeah, I'm doing. Is it visible?
Yeah, it is. It is visible, sir.
Yes, it is visible. You can do the slideshow, sir.
So CSR goes along with our pipelines. I think I have already covered this.
This has been covered.
This has been covered, right? So let's start from here. We can see some glimpse of our CSR activities. That is GAIL Kaushal. GAIL is first in the PSUs who has established the Skill Development Institute in Raebareli in hydrocarbon sector. This initiative is really very fruitful and giving results nowadays. The youth trained from this institute is working in different public sector and big companies. So these are really a positive change among the people, among the youth of Uttar Pradesh through this Kaushal Vikas Sansthan. Under GAIL Unnati initiative, there was a project that is Neer Nidhi. This project was a miraculous project in which rainwater harvesting and water management has become very positive and fruitful project in the area where very less rainwater is there, particularly in the area of Rajasthan, Kalaras, and these areas. If you talk about the health sector, GAIL's initiative, that is GAIL Arogya, it is really very tremendous. Its results is very positive and great result. These MMR vans operated by GAIL are moving in the ROUs and giving medical services to the villages. And these are really widely appreciated by everyone. These are instrumental in giving the vaccination as well, medicines, free checkup by the doctor, free collection of the samples, free counseling for the cancer patient, making them aware to get rid of the bad habits like tobacco, drinks and all. And the main important thing is that it is giving specific treatment to the women who cannot go to the big hospitals, who cannot go to the health center in the villages and the associated areas. So the MMR van is really very helpful. And these are, you can see this GAIL Arogya initiative is, if you take the feedback of the villagers, they are literally focusing and emphasizing to GAIL to increase the MMR vans. These are some certain initiatives taken by GAIL all across country under GAIL Saksham, GAIL Utkarsh, GAIL Arogya, GAIL Saksham. By providing, we have a tie-up with Elimco for providing the artificial limbs so that the disabled people and people with the different abilities, they are working their life, they are taking, doing their daily routine hassle-free. Recently in Haridwar, we have done it. Haridwar, Kashipur, we have done it, and the artificial limbs are really very helpful for them for meeting their daily objectives. If we see the CSR project, first we have to understand what a CSR is.
Abhinav sir, can you hear us?
Audible?
Now audible, now audible.
Okay. So there is a need assessment studies. Need assessment studies basically to have a gap analysis and to understand the demography, to understand the economic condition of the communities, and to find out the exact requirement, considering the socio-economic background of the people on which this CSR project is going to be implemented. Basically, the benchmarking studies and other things are being done through a consultant or they're in-house by our GAIL team. After that, the impact assessment. Impact assessment is the one of the most important activity which is being undertaken after execution of the small projects or during the concurrency.
Abhinav sir, can you hear us?
Are understanding how the beneficiary communities are taking this CSR project. So CSR project impact assessment, it is going from proving to improving. We have to prove through our work. A holistic impact assessment framework is there in GAIL, outside GAIL, to extend our focus so that we can understand how effectively our project, this CSR project has been implemented. The on-ground realities, feedback from the beneficiaries is all are covered. Though we are having certain challenges in the implementation of this CSR project, that is the awareness level of the beneficiaries. See, I'm giving an example. Suppose to stop the open defecation, if you are giving toilets to the people, villagers, if they do not understand the gravity of this, the harms and gravity of the situation, they continue to go for open defecation, and they can use this toilet for their storage, for storing their valuables or the other things. Also, before implementation of the project, we must understand what is the mental status of the beneficiaries, what is the education level, what is their perception towards this CSR project. If they are not aware, if they are not knowing the things, it is really difficult to achieve the 100% target. It is really
Abhinav sir, you are not audible.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Actually, ma'am, might be some network issue is there from his side, because
Okay, sir.
in between usually there is a break. So
Okay, no issue, sir.
we are trying to contact him.
Hello, Manvin sir.
Yes, sir.
When he is delivering this lecture, we are getting a voice from his background, you know.
Mhm.
There is a disturbance from the background, so just kindly inform him, because the rest of the other people, they have kept their mic off.
Okay, okay.
मेरे को तो यही बोल के जाएंगे 2 मिनट बाद हम तो बाहर निकलेंगे फिर दोबारा आएंगे मुझे इनवाइट करना है आपको आपकी सीट पे इनवाइट करने जाएंगे बोल देते हैं
उम्मीद की धड़कन का मकाम खेल का है जिए देश के नाम हर आशा का हृदय हर जोश की नाव हम बसाते देश में सपनों के गाँव
लहरों से डरकर नाव पार होती नहीं, हाशिए पे उम्मीद होती नहीं। जो युवा को बनाए सक्षम, वही देश निर्माण में रहे कार्यक्षम।
Now you're visible, sir.
It is very unfortunate that due to technical glitch, we are not able to connect, rather.
So this is the flip side of digital platform. What to do?
No issue. Let me rejoin and reconnect.
Let me make you a presenter.
Yeah, please.
Now you are a presenter. So
I can
share
share my screen.
Yeah. Yes.
Will do. My screen is visible.
It is visible, sir.
Okay. So I'll directly start with that. The presentation is also visible.
Now it is visible. Yes.
Okay. So I'll start with this video presentation of GAIL CSR activity.
कौन सी मेल आईडी पर आती है मैम मेरे ख्याल से वो
So, am I still logged in?
Yes, you are still logged in.
Okay, okay. So this is the whole transformation from pipeline, along with the pipeline and the CSR projects undertaken by GAIL. So you can see the changes in the life. A small child having nothing to study, he has been undertaken under GAIL Utkarsh, prepared for JEE, got selected in IIT, and now working very effectively. So this is the whole transformation of the life. It is one example, but there are numerous examples which we know and the society knows. So this is so I can now take you this conclusion of the presentation, that is CSR is the best thing which industry can do for the society, not directly related with their business portfolio. It is a more responsible and far-sighted management that have come to the conclusion that the welfare of their companies cannot be isolated from the community development. Corporate had moved ahead to a really new level of fulfillment through their CSR projects. GAIL, ONGC, Tata's, and many more companies are doing this under Section 135 of the Companies Act 2013. 2% of fund is already allocated.
So your voice again went away.
So that's all with the presentation. Manvind, we can take the questions if any.
Dear participants, we are deeply regretted because of the technical issue. We all know that there are so many positives, and along with that, there are a few negatives are there. And we have seen this today because of the network glitch or technical issue of this online platform. We missed out so many things from our expert. But even what he shared, because he have an expertise in this particular area, he has worked with so many projects, that too from the company side. So if somebody as a researcher want to know more about the CSR aspect, be the planning or execution part or social impact assessment or any kind of question, if you have, you may ask. He's the right person who can answer from the company side, from the reality. He can tell you more in detail about the corporate social responsibility. So dear participants, if you have any query, you may ask, please. Because the researchers, those who are working in this area, it will be really beneficial for you. Because he is the person from the company side, from the corporate side.
Well, I have a small question here. Like
Please.
as that the corporates are required to meet their the CSR requirements. Like, what is the criteria for that? Like, if there is a small corporate who does not have the crores of turnovers and all, so what happened to those? Because they may not have that much big infrastructure or their teams. So how they can do that? Am I audible?
Yes, Pradeep sir, you are audible. Let me check with the expert. Abhinav sir, can you hear us?
Yeah, now it is okay. It is showing that bad network quality.
Actually,
Okay, I got your question. You asked me about what are the criteria to undertake the CSR project. Now,
Right.
see, there are certain basic criteria such as the economic, socio-economic level of the society where the project is to be undertaken. Secondly, the initiative or directive from the government, be it central government or be it the state government, they summarize the requirement based on their own studies, and they forward it to the various companies. Like if you talk about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, if you talk about social this education sector, they identify the schools where the infrastructure is not there, and they can forward their recommendation with due forwarding that yes, we require 60 number of benches, we require computers, we require toilets, we require the boundary wall, the premise where they do not have the sufficient infrastructure. So this assessment is basically done by the government. Few projects we take it suo moto from our side, considering the benefit of the common people along with our pipelines nearby our plant area, based on our own studies. Suppose we are installing a plant, outside area plant, we know we have disturbed them through the construction of the plant. So we transform their villages by making the community hall, provide them potable drinking water facility, upgrading their schools to a next level so that their children can take good education, they can earn their livelihood, making new skill development centers in the associated area so that they can convert their expertise into a certified skill and they can earn their bread and butter. So these are the things.
No, my question is like the small companies who do not have so much big funds.
Yeah.
Right. So can they associate with some kind of NGOs or some kind of other organizations which are involved in those activity, and instead of like if there is a small company who has maybe turnover of maybe only like 2-3 crore or 5 crore, so like, or their profit may be like 100 crore. Right? Oh, I'm sorry, 5 crore to 1 crore. So their profit will be only 1 crore. So 2% of that 1 crore is only 2 lakh rupees.
Okay.
Now, if you say that in 2 lakh rupees, if they go for a big project, they will not be able to do that. Because the manpower is also there are so many things are involved. So can they go to can they tie up with any kind of NGO, or if they can start their own NGO for that matter, like a small Section 8 company, if they can form and put in that fund into that particular NGO and take the projects, or maybe the already any NGO who is already working in that particular area, if they can give those funds to them.
Yeah, I got your point. Actually, CSR is having the collaborative approach. People may join hands and come together for a better cause. Okay. If a company is having a very little fund, or the capex allocated for this is less, there's no issue. They can participate in the combined projects. Suppose there is a school, they can only fund a toilet, they can only fund few computers, they can only fund making a road, making an approach road for the school. So this is a collaborative approach. There is no issue at all.
And like the fund, what they allocate for these kind of services, do they need any kind of certification? Because like maybe
Yes.
as per the Company Act, they may have to submit the report at the end of the year that this much which we have done, this is what we have done. So do they need any kind of certification, or any kind of, they have to prepare any kind of report?
Actually, there are two things. Fund is given by the principal. Okay. Principal, maybe it is GAIL, maybe ONGC, or maybe anybody. But second thing is the implementation agency, who is going to implement that project. The implementation agency has to follow the guidelines of the government, the procedure to allocate the work, the procurement process, everything should be in line. After that, they have to give a fund utilization certificate. Suppose they have got 2 crores of rupees, so they have to give a certification to the fund issuer. I got this 2 crores of rupees. उसमें मैंने इतना इसमें खर्च किया, इतना इसमें खर्च किया, and that has to be certified by their chartered accountant, and that is to be submitted. Then only it is accepted, along with the invoices and payment proofs. So this is the whole documented process is in line.
Does company also has to submit it in their annual report or with the company compliances?
Yes, it is the integral part of the company annual report.
Okay.
Integral part.
All right. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I am Dr. Baldev Singh Negi. I just want to ask one thing, that while we are doing CSR in every company, but in the most of companies, they are not having their own CSR cell. They are doing this CSR through the HR. So what is your take on this, that how is it ethical to undertake the CSR activities?
See, the objective should be ethical. We should not focus, we should not concentrate upon the tools. The objective should be ethical. If the company set up,
sorry to interrupt, but always what is observed that HR is solely devoted for HR activities, not
Yes.
for CSR. So when you are supposed to do some CSR in company with great ethics, so there should be some specific expertise persons in CSR. So you can't expect all these technicalities from the HR persons with respect to the CSR. That's
you are very correct. Actually, the CSR requires a different kind of competency, and HR requires a different kind of competency. The skill sets are different, but in few companies, they do not have sufficient people to handle all such things, so they integrate the functions, HR functions with CSR. Okay, so that is their working. But in the big companies, if you go, CSR vertical is totally separate, and they are directly reporting to the director. Okay, so they are disintegrated from HR. But in the small companies, I don't know, they may not be having the competent people for handling CSR separately, so they have amalgamated the things.
Thank you.
So I have two questions.
Yes, please.
Okay, Muni sir want to ask something. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
If you want to ask, you can ask us, sir. After that,
please, sir. You carry on.
Okay. Abhinav sir, I wanted to ask you one small question. Is that
yes,
I have seen the graph of the chart of the India which you have presented it, and
yes,
all the pipelines are by GAIL, which is there all over India. It was shown. I could find that in the Jammu and Kashmir area and Seven Sisters area from Assam to Northeast region. There, the implementation of the pipeline and as well as the other CSR related activities are quite less. And of course, I could see that, the Naxalite affected area like Chhattisgarh or in Odisha, you might be facing a lot of challenges and some different way of implementing the CSR activities as compared to the, other areas where it is properly implemented and you are getting a lot of output. So in these two type of the areas, what are the challenges and what are the plans of the GAIL as far as CSR activities?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
My question is simple, very simple, that in the northeastern area and in Jammu and Kashmir area, hilly areas, and in the Naxalite affected areas, what kind of challenges your organization is facing as far as CSR activities are concerned? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Abhinav sir?
Abhinav sir? I think again network issue. Let's wait. Abhinav sir. Hello. Hello, Abhinav sir.
Sir, now it is coming. Now it is coming.
Can you did you got my point, sir?
No, sir. Can you please repeat?
I'm just repeating it that, sir. What are your company's, policies and the challenges in implementation of the CSR related activities in hilly areas and the Naxalite affected areas? Okay, like all the hilly areas of Jammu and Kashmir and northeastern states, as well as the Naxalite affected areas like Chhattisgarh or the Odisha also. Because there, there is a lot of work is required and you might be facing a lot of problems.
Sir, primarily, prima facie is that we undertake the CSR project along with our pipelines and the plants. Okay. The areas which you told me, just Jammu and Kashmir, we do not have the operations so far.
Okay.
In future, we may come up. In the 7th state area, we are coming up with the pipelines up to a little portion of Assam and Tripura, Agartala. There we are undertaking this CSR projects, and there is no such kind of hurdle. Even people of different levels of the societies, maybe Naxalite, you can say, maybe anything, but they all want to take the benefit out of it. So as such, we are not facing any hurdle. If you are installing a plant, if you are acquiring the land, that is a challenge. But for CSR particularly, there is no such hurdle. Okay. Baki, in Manipur, we do not have the pipelines, so I do not have the experience of those areas. Manipur, Nagaland, we do not have the pipelines. It is yet to come, and we may see. We can hope for the best. But up to Agartala, we do not have any issue. Agartala, we have implemented so many projects.
Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Sir, I have one more question
Thank
here.
you, sir.
Please. Like the major company, like the big corporates, they already have like huge CSR funds available. Like my question is, as a startup, like if someone who is starting up his small project, maybe if they come up with some idea which is a sustainable project, which is into like which supports the circular economy and meets the requirement of sustainable projects. So can this CSR fund can it be allocated to them, or can it be utilized to set up those industries and project, or
yeah, of course.
Okay, so it means that for fundraising, that any startup which is sustainable can approach to that company, maybe directly or maybe through agency.
No, there is no as such. There is no such any agency concept. You can directly come up with a company if this is meeting our alignment. This is aligned with our requirement. Okay, then only it can be appreciated. And there is a very laid down procedure and guidelines under which these are being entertained. Otherwise, Government of India has already formulated the structure, how to undertake the projects. So we have to follow that norms. If the startup idea is meeting with that concept, it shall be definitely be aligned.
So
even that startup can route their application through the ministry.
Right. So that was my next question, that what is the correct route? Like if some startup is coming up with a very good idea, which that person thinks that, it's a sustainable and it must be considered, then what is the correct route? Which ministry or where?
Nothing correct or incorrect. There is nothing correct or incorrect, or there is no specific channel that you have to apply through this route or through this agency only. You have to come up with the idea. If it is meeting our requirement, the company shall be called by our CSR department, and that can be entertained further.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is the my direct question is, what is the contact detail, or like, do we have to contact the Government of India and they will forward our application, like any startup application, to the company, or is there any direct email or any direct contact is there where that person which may contact the company for that for the startup funding?
Sir, are you there? Hello.
Hanji, Hanji.
Sir.
As far as GAIL is concerned, you can directly contact our corporate CSR department. The details are placed over the website.
Thank you, sir. I think I got my answer.
Now, sir, I have two basic questions. Maybe these questions from the participant side also. One is that if suppose any of the academician want to pursue for a project, on CSR, what is the way how he can approach? And second is if some NGO is there, how he will approach to the company for some CSR initiative, if that particular NGO is working on.
Mr. Goel?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes.
Our contact details is already on the website. Okay. And as far as the government or ministry is concerned, ministry is having few other PSUs also in their control. So you can contact them also. If it is suited, you will get a wider platform to work upon. So that is also appreciable.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Sir, Pandey sir, can you hear me? Hello. Am I audible, sir? Dear participants, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, sir.
Pandey sir, am I audible?
Yes, Dr. Manuel, please.
Sir, I have only two questions. One is that if suppose
we are talking in a message form, packet form. Please tell me.
Actually, actually, only two questions I have. One from NGO side and one from the academic side. That if suppose there is an NGO and want to pursue some work in any of these SDGs, if I talk about, be it as education or whatever, which come under the purview of CSR, how an NGO can approach to the big organizations like yours for funding or something like that? Because an NGO do not have that much of funds.
Of course. Actually, the NGO must have a credential and portfolio that they have a prior experience of particular field. Okay. And with that portfolio, they have to apply that this is my proposal for CSR project. And that shall be, we have a very well structured corporate CSR committee in GAIL. They evaluate the proposal on the basis of their merit. Okay. And that shall be, if it is meeting the criteria, that shall be forwarded for the management approval. If approval is there, that NGO shall be collaborated further. If not, then it will be turned down. Because see, there are lots of proposals coming. So there is a team, corporate CSR committee, they evaluate on their parameters. They judge this, they allocate the marks, and they further being put up to for the management approval. Management discuss the merits, demerits, gap analysis, and this pre-execution studies. Because every area we also have certain data. Okay. And if our already some project is on under execution, that can be collaborated with them also. So there are a lot of things. So that is being done by the corporate CSR committee. They accord the management approval, and the NGO will further be collaborated with the project.
And the second part is like how an academician can approach for some projects. If suppose any of the academician, especially from the management side, is working on some of the social issue, how they can get funded for that?
You mean to say that some university, some state-funded university, but they are separate.
Any university, because
no, there is a difference. There is a difference. If it is state-funded, they are already equal like us.
Okay.
If it is a private university, it falls under private-owned institution. The rules are different. Okay.
Okay.
So that is basically the implementation agency. Suppose IIT Delhi is an organization. Okay, IIT Delhi wants to undertake some CSR project, and they want a fund support from some company, ONGC, maybe Indian Oil, GAIL, or whosoever. Then also the process is same. They have to route an application along with the portfolio. We have already undertaken this project successfully. These are the outcomes, and now we want to undertake this thing. This will be again validated through the CSR committee, and they will further take up this for the management approval and all.
And how about the private university?
So far,
is there any provision? Is there any provision?
So far, I have not done any case related to them because they have not come up so far, as per my knowledge.
Okay, that's what. Any other question from the participant side?
Well, one last question.
No, go ahead.
Because the time is already over.
Yeah.
So one last question, please. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
I just want to know, like, does the company get some kind of tax benefits for, to allocate these kind of funds for CSR activities?
Pardon?
Does company get any tax benefits?
Yes. See, this 2% is already allocated. Now that is before tax. So the expenditure what you are doing is out of that purview. So as per section 135 of this Companies Act is giving all you relaxation.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abhinay sir. It has been a pleasure being you are here. Though there were some technical glitches, but apart from that, it was really a wonderful session. And I believe majority of us have really enjoyed it. So in future, we will be expecting you in. Sorry for the disturbance. In future also, we will be expecting your presence in our institutional activities.
It's really an honor for me, Dr. Manvin, and really it's pleasure spending time with you all, because we are having a different segment to work upon. But sitting with academicians and learned people, research scholars, really it's giving a great pleasure for me. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.